Welcome to National Apprenticeship Week. I'm pleased to say that I'm joined by two people who know the college very well and they work for the NHS. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name's Sarah Neilson, work at North Tees and Hartlepool Foundation Trust, and I'm Workforce Development Lead.
Hello, my name's Louise Samual. I also work at North Tees and Hartlepool NHS Foundation Trust, and I'm an Organisation Development and Employee Engagement Lead.
Thanks for those introductions. Now, unless you've been living on the moon, I'm sure you know exactly what's going on. But Sarah, would you like to give us a bit of an update of what's happening with the NHS at the moment?
Hi. So yes, COVID has taken over our lives a little bit, as you'd imagine. Currently very busy with the vaccinations, which is working really, really well. But there's a lot of things going on in terms of apprenticeships still. Lots of apprenticeships still ongoing and lots coming through that we're really excited about. That'll hopefully help people get into the NHS, which is something that we're quite keen on.
Thanks for that. Now, Louise, you're actually a current apprentice, aren't you? Would you like to just tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, so I'm currently on the ILM Level 5 Operational Leadership and Management course. So this is allowing me to develop my leadership and management skills, which will help support in my role. So part of my job's also developing leadership across the organisation. So the course is helping with that, but also to help me with the team management that I've been doing.
Brilliant. So you do obviously leadership and management apprenticeships within the NHS. Sarah, what other apprenticeships do you actually do?
We've got masses of variance across. So we go from things like plumbing, electricians, all the way through to finance, HR, and our clinical apprenticeships. So we've got our nurse associates, our associate practitioners, looking at the nursing degree apprenticeship shortly, also alongside our physio apprenticeships as well. So there's varying. Lots of things going on and lots of admin apprenticeships as well.
So obviously, Louise, you already worked for the NHS before you started the apprenticeship. How did those internal vacancies or chances to progress, how did they come along? How were you notified of those?
So we do a lot of talent management in the organisation. So as part of our appraisal process, we're always asked every year what development we want to do. So it was identified with my manager that the next step really was for me to do something around leadership and management. So then what happens is we've also got a person that deals with the apprenticeship. So I went and spoke to that lady and explained, you know, what my next development was needed. And then she organised it and got it all sorted.
Good to hear. Sarah, now, obviously a lot of NHS staff will upskill and you'll put them through apprenticeships that way. If you recruit somebody new, is there any particular sort of talent or expertise that you look for when somebody's trying to recruit from outside of the organisation?
It's probably more the values that are important to us in terms of making sure that whatever apprenticeship you're coming into, that the patients are the priority. So showing that you're caring, you're compassionate, that you're hardworking, that you're willing to come in and that you're dedicated, really. But our patients, rightly so, come first. So it's making sure you can demonstrate that that's the values that you've got as well.
So for you, Louise, you know, you've got a full-time job already and you're starting this apprenticeship on top of that and everything's going on in the world. But what typically does that apprenticeship, or has it looked like for yourself? Has there been elements where you've been in college for sort of the technical side and then you're learning the skills on the job?
Yeah, so the course is actually a mixture of knowledge and skills. So we get protected time from the organisation to attend the course. So that's when we have those days where we're taught the different methodologies and things from leadership and management. But then on the job, it's support from my manager. So, you know, she allows me to go off and do things that give me that bit of stretch to demonstrate that I've got the skills needed to meet the requirements of the apprenticeship. So there's a lot of support from the organisation to make sure we can be successful at completing the apprenticeship, which I personally think something really good about the NHS. We're very much about developing and making sure that the staff that we've got get those opportunities.
Great. So would you recommend apprenticeships to not so much just people in the NHS to progress? Would you recommend apprenticeships for those maybe younger people who are just leaving school now?
Oh, absolutely, because I think it combines both things around those skills and the knowledge, which is important because sometimes it's not about what you can write, it's about what you can do, and being able to display those skills is just as important.
So now you're one of the newer type as well that does an endpoint assessment. Are you looking forward to that? Are you apprehensive about that? How are you feeling that you're building up towards the endpoint assessment?
I don't think many people like endpoint assessments, but the course allows you to build up towards that. So as you progress through, you're submitting your work and your information. So when you get to the end, it's basically just having that conversation and being able to demonstrate what you've learned throughout your time on the course. Obviously, there's for my course, there's some questions to answer as well. So, you know, there's multiple choice questions. But again, that's just about demonstrating what you've learned through the time on the course. So I'm not too apprehensive about it, but I don't think many people like exams.
Well, no, I mean, when I did my apprenticeship way back in the early 2000s, it was my apprenticeship actually was one of the only ones that had an endpoint assessment. So a lot of apprenticeships now have followed suit. So I understand how you feel about that. Come to that, Sarah. Just for that, what you mentioned, there's lots of different trades that work in the NHS as well. Is there opportunities for all of the apprentices to progress if there is a progression route for like gaining higher education?
Yeah, we're working to try and create those progression routes through for people in all of the areas. And like I say, across we've got varying apprenticeships all the way across, and we've got people who've come in as healthcare assistants on an apprenticeship and who are now off doing their nursing degree. And there is varying routes through. Just
one final thing from me: is there a recruitment cycle, or can things happen at any point in the NHS, or do you look for, you know, starting in September, which is in line with the academic year, or do you say, right, well, we've got a cohort ready to go now, so we liaise with the college, for instance, say, right, can we start at this point? How does it work?
Yeah, there's varying start points throughout the year, depending on demand as well. So where we probably wouldn't have gone for intakes kind of earlier on in the year, sometimes, given the current situation, we've just gone out to recruitment for that, and there'll be some apprenticeships coming through from that. So it does vary depending on the demand within the NHS, including the vacancies that we've got.
Great stuff. Thanks for that. Really appreciate your time. I know you're both extremely busy, but no, thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.